Hey, good morning, this is Brett, the Division of Emergency Management. Just give us 1 second, we've got, AI note taker that we can't use. Christopher's note taker. You have the ability to turn that off yourself, please. If we could identify who has Christopher's note taker, it looks like a Otter AI trying to join. Can you please disable that so we can move on with the meeting? Secretariat for if you heard.
Good morning, everyone. Chief, I'm kind of having a hard time hearing you. You were breaking up quite a bit, and I think that happened last meeting too, or a meeting a little while ago.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. It's just every once in a while it breaks up and we can't hear you. I just wanted to double check because I was like turning up my speakers and but I'm also having a little bit of audio and visual or audio and my camera has been acting up. I think it's fixed, but if not, I may have to tag team you.
Okay, no problem. And we are literally yelling. It is us, not you. And the upgrade to technology is going to occur here really not soon enough in this room. Please let us know if you can't hear, because everybody sitting next to me, ears are going to be blown out before this is over.
Sounds good. Okay, good morning, everyone. This is Harriet Vegas, and I'd like to call the June 3rd, 2025 meeting of the Nevada Tribal Emergency Coordinating Council to order. Ms. Borst, will you conduct the roll call, please?
Hi, Harriet. This is Shereen Whipple for the record. I'll be doing the roll call.
Good morning.
Morning. Harriet Vegas.
Present.
Sukaki Charlie. Jackie Conway. Wayne Masters Sr.
Here.
Don Pelt. Marion Perez. Kenneth Pointer.
Present.
Riviera.
Who?
Ross.
I'm here.
Hello. Lori Tom. Daniel Thayer.
Here.
Brett Constant.
President.
Emily Gould. Or Doug Dame.
Present.
Lori Tom just signed in. Lori Tom, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm gonna try to get it switched over to my computer, but I am on.
Okay, thank you, Lori. You have form. Oh. Yes, you have form.
Great, you have form.
Thank you. I forgot to turn off the mute. Sorry. Okay. Well, thank you, Ms. Whipple. It's good to hear from you. Haven't seen you in a long time. So we'll close agenda item number 1. We'll move on to agenda item number 2. This is public comment. This is for discussion only. No action may be taken upon a matter raised under this item of the agenda until the matter itself has been specifically included on the agenda as an item upon which action may be taken. Public comments may be limited to 3 minutes per person at the discretion of the co-chairs. Comments will not be restricted based on viewpoint. To provide testimony during this period of public comment via telephone, please call in any time after 9:30 a.m. on the day of the meeting by dialing 1-669-219-2599. When prompted to provide the meeting ID, please enter 202-331-8963 and then press pound. When prompted for a participant ID, please press pound again. When asked to provide public comment, please press *6 to unmute your phone and *6 again when your comments are complete. Please also be advised that the YouTube stream may be 60 to 90 seconds behind the live meeting. So if you would like to present public comment, please call in using the above number to hear the meeting live. While we wait for the lag time to catch up, are there any comments there in Carson City?
No comments in Carson City.
Thank you. Are there any public comments on the phone?
Seeing any?
Okay. Anyone on the meeting have a public comment? Okay, hearing none. We will close out agenda item number 2 and move on to agenda item number 3. This is the approval of minutes. So I do have a question about the minutes. Are we reviewing the March 4th, 2025 minutes or November?
Brett Thompson for the record. So the on top says draft meeting minutes were 3-4, and then the actual notes, I believe were 4-11. It looks like the content is actually from March. However, I think the label is wrong on page.
Okay, so regarding the minutes, we have this is the March 4th content from the meeting minutes of the meeting from March 4th, 2025, and it's just the date at the top that is incorrect. Okay, so with that error, please note that the notes that were sent out, the meeting minutes that were sent out are for March 4th, 2025. So for agenda item number 3, the approval of minutes, this is for discussion and possible action. The NTECC will review and discuss the minutes of the March 4th, 2025 NTECC meeting. The NTECC will determine whether to approve the meeting minutes. So you all should have received a copy of the draft minutes from the March 24th, 2025 meeting. Members, would you please review, and when you're ready, I'll take a motion to approve with that correction of the date.
This is Ken Coiner for the record. Motion to approve with the correction of the date. Minutes have been reviewed.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I'll second Dan Thayer.
Thank you, sir. Is there any discussion?
I have one question.
Yes, sir.
The agenda item also says March 4th, 2025. So can we proceed with that?
Hey, this is Samantha Laddick from the AG's office. I'm having a little trouble hearing everyone, so just let me see if I understand. The minutes are actually, the content is for March 4th, 2025, which is what's represented on the agenda. The only difference is that we need to make an edit to the date at the top of the meeting minutes. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, as long as the agenda is accurate, that it's March 4th, 2025, and we're just making an edit to the actual document, I think we're okay to proceed.
Perfect. Is that okay, Mr. Rivera? Does that satisfy your question?
Yeah, yes, I just wanted to make sure.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Right?
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Okay, thank you. The motion passes. And with that, we will close out agenda item number 3 and move on to agenda item number 4. This is tribal nations. This is for discussion only. Co-chair Brett Compston will provide updates related to the legislation, initiatives, personnel, and organizational changes at the Division of Emergency Management. Chief Compston, I'll turn it over to you, sir.
Right, thank you. Brett Thompson for the record. Please let me know if you can't hear. Okay, a number of organizational changes here at the division that are relevant for you to be aware of. When we have moved the mitigation program out from the preparedness portfolio and now sits with the resilience portfolio. And Ms. Heather Lafferty is now serving as the state hazard mitigation officer as well as the chief resilience officer. Mr. Bill Elliott is now serving as a special projects manager for the division. Ms. Lindy Downey is now serving as the preparedness portfolio manager. Mr. Eric Wilson is now performing the role of the state exercise officer. Ms. Blaney Perro is now leading the mitigation and recovery grants team. Ms. Janae Johnson is now leading the nonprofit security grants. Ms. Janelle Woodward has moved over to perform financial reviews on our grants team. We have added Kaylin Demon, who is our new purchasing clerk. And we have said farewell to Ms. Jill Picker, who was in the county, Ms. Samantha O'Brien, who used to do nonprofit security grants, and Mr. Brent Harper, who has retired again, who was doing radiation support for us. I did have a call yesterday with the FEMA regional administrator, and I'm not going to go into detail of the results of that. I have a meeting tomorrow or tabletop exercise with the acting FEMA administrator. Myself, California, Arizona will participate in that. And then once we have those notes, I will send those out collectively in the tribal partner district. But the highlights, I guess, would be, without going into the details, is the threshold to qualify for fire management assistance grants is increasing. A host of things that we have all become accustomed to FEMA providing related to post-disaster, individual assistance, recovery, and cost share are most likely going to change, and there will be more requirements on state, local, and tribal partners to meet those requirements. Cost shares are going to go up. It's going to highlight something block there. At this point, we do not have any indication about when the Homeland Security Grant or the Emergency Management Performance Grant will be released. There is a rumor out that the EMPG will come out in July with no fidelity. As a result, for those people that also on this board and on the Nevada Resiliency Advisory Committee or the Homeland Security Commission, we have delayed second quarter meetings for those boards, committees, and commissions until the Homeland Security Grant comes out. But I don't want to do those at meetings that meeting. So we are waiting for the Homeland Security Grant release to conduct those meetings. As far as BRIC, so last time we talked, BRIC had been pulled at BRIC, or Building Resilient Infrastructure Communities, has since been terminated. And so FEMA is no longer supporting that program. The awards that already exist or awards that have been made and have not started are education, essentially have been made and construction has not started. We're in construction or some phase of construction. So Ms. Lafferty is working through that right now. Some awardees give them fidelity. What their project continues or they continue the status is there. As far as FEMA, just a general national update, the FEMA National Review Committee has convened. Guidance that was issued during their first meeting by the Secretary of Homeland Security was to repackage FEMA essentially under a new name and reorganize the roles and responsibilities. That final report from that committee is due in October. So I think there will just be a lot of wondering and discussion that happens between now and then. Yes. FEMA 2.0 looks like, whatever it gets renamed to. What I do think is probable for us, based on the conversation I had yesterday, just watching this, is the state picks up a more significant role in post-disaster recovery piece. Right now, there is not essentially a mitigation or pre-disaster mitigation program. How that needs to be rolled out with this transition. And I think that the cost share and the threshold to qualify, cost shares are going to go up, and threshold to qualify for a potential disaster will also. That's what it looks like. We have completed the physical remodel of the emergency operations center here in Garza City. The technology updates actually started this morning, and hopefully, not hopefully, it will include the microphones on this room so I can stop yelling, which would be awesome. And we are conducting a incident support model EOC exercise 14th of August here in the Garza City operations. Legislative updates. All agency bills passed and are either at the governor's office or have been signed with the governor. This includes the IMAC committee or the Interstate Mutual Aid Committee. It will now be co-chaired by the Division of Emergency Management and the Division of Forestry. And it also codifies that the Division of Forestry is responsible for wildland suppression efforts in the state of Nevada. And operating like that as is, it's just now codified. As well as the Storm Act was approved, which will establish, or it allows us to establish a revolving loan account to help with the mitigation or the match portion of mitigation projects. Assuming mitigation projects come back. That's a good thing, depending on how FEMA evolves. And as well as the Senate Bill 38, which allows us to share school plans with local responders. That restriction. All these will be effective on 1 July. And of course, the biggest news one is the move of the Division of Emergency Management to become the Office of Emergency Management, working directly under the is effective. Last thing I think I have is common evacuation language related to the Ready, Set, Go program. We have provided a one-page info sheet to the EMs and the Tranquil Distro. That is obviously your decision if you choose to adopt that or not, but we have circulated common language throughout the state that I believe most EMs and fire chiefs are looking to use. And RIPs are coming up, say the dates have been sent out. I think that are all my updates. Any questions?
Thank you, Chief. Are there any questions from the members for Chief Compton? No? Okay, hearing none. Thank you, Chief, for that report. With that, we'll close out agenda item number 4 and move on to agenda item number 5. This is an update on tribal health preparedness efforts. This is for discussion only. This will be provided by Doug Dame, Public Health Preparedness Program. Mr. Dame will update the NTECC on the Division of Public and Behavioral Health preparedness efforts related to the overall program, staffing, plan review and revision, and a 5-year strategic plan review. Mr. Dame, the floor is yours, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me this morning. Unfortunately, I don't have quite a lot. Emily is out on maternity leave. She did have a baby boy. So right now we have finished our 5-year strategic plan. We are reviewing next steps for our next steps for that plan. Last month, we did have our annual Rural Preparedness Summit at the Elko Convention Center, which was a huge success. It was attended by quite a few of our tribal partners. So it was really good seeing a lot of our partner spaces there and networking and stuff. So hopefully we can get some tribal partners for our next planning session for our next year. We're planning on starting that planning sometime in July. So we will be reaching out to our partners sometime in July to get some next steps for our next year's planning. We have onboarded, 2 new employees. The first one, his name is William. Forgive me, I forget his last name off the top of my head. He's our new HPP, or our Health Emergency Exercise Planner. And Olivia, she's our new Rural Health Coordinator. So this is their second week on. So they're both on our HPP side. So you should start hearing and seeing them very soon. So we're really excited to see them or get them on our team. Right now, we're just I am actively updating our plans. Right in the middle of our division operations center plan, are getting ready to do our med surge planning updates and other things. I'm also going around restocking our MCI trailers down here in our south. And right now, that's all I have for our update, on top of just we're just monitoring H1N5, which is very low right now, not a whole lot on that, and then measles. Other than that, that's all I have for an update. So thank you again.
Thank you, Mr. Dame. Are there any questions from the members? Okay, hearing none, thank you very much for your report. That will close out agenda item number 5, and we'll move on to agenda item number 6. This is the tribal travel funding assistance. This is for discussion only. This will be provided by Aaron Thacker, the tribal coordinator. He is collaborating with the grants department to explore potential funding opportunities for Nevada's tribal partners. This funding will support travel for trainings, meetings, and conferences. Mr. Thacker, I'll turn it over to you, sir.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Aaron Thacker for the record. Again, I just wanted to let everybody know that we'll be meeting with the budget officer in a couple of weeks. They're going to break down of the tribal travel funding. Once I get this update complete, I will be reaching out to the tribal partners to give them an update. Again, this travel will be for trainings, meetings, and conferences.
Thank you, sir. Would that be for local travel, or does it include travel out of state?
It will be definitely for local, and then depending on what the breakdown looks like, we could possibly explore out of state.
Perfect, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Thacker, for that update. Are there any questions from the members for Mr. Thacker? No? Okay, thank you very much. That will close out agenda item number 6. We'll move on to agenda item number 7. This is an update from the Intertribal Council of Nevada. This is for discussion only. This will be provided by Clifford Banuelos, the Tribal State Environmental Liaison for ITCN. Mr. Banuelos will provide the NTECC with an update of ITCN activities related to the support of the tribal emergency management and public health preparedness. Mr. Banuelos, the floor is yours, sir.
Aaron, it's Aaron Thacker again. Cliff is in another meeting, so he just wanted me to update that ITCN is having their upcoming convention, and the dates will be July 13th through the 17th. That'll be at the Atlantis in Reno, Nevada. And then they will have a session from BIA Emergency Response on the services that they provide, and that was the end.
Perfect, thank you for that. Are there any questions? No questions? Okay, thank you for stepping in for Mr. Banuelos. I thought I saw him logged in, but I guess that might have been last week's meeting I'm thinking of. Anyway, thank you for the update. With that, we'll close out agenda item number 7 and we'll move on to agenda item number 8. This is an update from the Nevada Indian Commission. This is for discussion only, provided by Stacy Montooth. Ms. Montooth will provide NTECC with an update of NIC activities related to the support of tribal emergency management and public health preparedness. Is Ms. Montooth with us this morning? Or representative? Okay, hearing none. We will table this agenda item to the end, although we're almost finished. We'll table agenda item number 8 and see if someone logs in at the end. So we'll move on to agenda item number 9. This is updates from the Chief Resilience Officer, the Mitigation Officer, and tribal staff. This is for discussion only. It's Heather Lafferty, Aaron Thacker, and Kimberly Palma Ortega will brief the NTECC on recent developments in tribal outreach and intergovernmental collaboration. Their updates will focus on the ongoing efforts to support tribal emergency management and public health preparedness across the state. This includes the advancement of initiatives aimed at strengthening partnerships with tribal nations, enhancing emergency planning capabilities, and integrating tribal needs into broader resilience and mitigation strategies. The discussion will also highlight the state's commitment to fostering culturally informed engagement with tribal communities in alignment with federal resilience and community preparedness goals. So Ms. Lafferty, I will let you choose the order of who goes first. Thank you.
For the record, and thank you, Harriet. Good morning. And good morning, everyone. I will go ahead and start. I will kick us off here, and I wanted to provide updates on my new role. As Brett mentioned, I am still the State Chief Resilience Officer, but I am also taking on the additional duties of State Hazard Mitigation Officer, or SHMO. And we are working diligently with grants team and FEMA Region 9 to try and get fidelity on the status of some of our BRIC grants, which have been a little ubiquitous, I know, up until this point, and any ongoing impacts in Nevada. We have our ongoing tribal emergency managers coordination call happening every third Thursday of the month. And we also still, I wanted to remind everyone, still have the Nevada Access and Functional Needs Disaster Coalition, which I am still running in jointly running with our tribal public health preparedness coordinator, Kimberly, even during this transition. So if you have new staff that you think would benefit from our weekly situation and our resilience emails and our coordination calls in the coalition, make sure to reach out to me, Aaron or Kimberly, and we can add them to the coalition so they get that situational awareness. And then in closing for my updates, I will be conducting an impact of extreme heat in Indigenous communities webinar in partnership with the Great Basin Tribal Alliance on June 17th. And if you need any information around that, please reach out to Kimberly or Aaron and they can help get that over to you. And then I will turn it over just real quick to Aaron and he can just kind of update you briefly on the past month or so and some of our tribal emergency manager activities. Aaron?
So again, everybody, Aaron Thacker for the record. Yeah, as Doug said, we attended the World Preparedness Conference up in Elko, and there was a lot of good information. Also, while I was there, I met with Chairwoman York from the Fort McDermott Paiute Tribe, and we've got a lot of good ideas from her. And then on our way back from Elko, we went to the Lovelock Health Fair and just had our booth set up, and we had made some really good contact. I closed out Basic Academy at the end of this month, and I'm hoping to get out to Eastern Tribe in July and report. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that update, and I will send it over to our Tribal Public Health Preparedness Coordinator, Kimberly Palma-Ortega. Kimberly?
Good afternoon, everyone. Currently, we're developing a tribal public health district list with NDM, so that way we can go ahead and include all of our tribal public health coalitions, state and tribal liaison. This will allow for us to, share real-time information from our end, as well as also share on behalf of others. I was able to attend the Nevada Division of Native American Affairs state liaison call in April, which was an amazing turnout, both in person and online, which allowed for great networking opportunities for all of us, as well as, some of the tribal priorities that Aaron and I have been working on through our resilience team have been, navigating through fiscal to make sure that we have our VGAN and Iridium SIMs purchased, which has taken place. Once we receive them, Aaron and I will go ahead and distribute them personally and coordinate with the tribes with some on-site visits to review and evaluate, not only the communication boxes that have been distributed in the years past, but to kind of continue navigating with our mission support on all other alternatives that can be offered within, the future years as we navigate these conversations. And so with that, Aaron and I have kind of collaborated together and created a survey that will be issued out to all of the tribes just to gather what's best for them, communication form wise, possible equipment replacement, calendar events after that, and as well as training. And then lastly, as for everyone's reference here, I've been tasked to lead the emergency support function, EFS6 mass care desk for the state. After that, Heather, end of report.
Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, Aaron. And that's the end of report for us. Thank you.
Well, that was a great report. Thank you, Ms. Laverty, Ms. Palma-Ortega, and Mr. Thacker. Are there any questions from the members regarding their report? Okay, thank you all very much for that. I really appreciate the update. With that, we will close out agenda item number 9, and we'll move on to agenda item number 10. This is grant status reports. This is for discussion only, provided by Shay Sloan. The NTECC will receive quarterly grant reports, which will outline the spending status on Emergency Management Performance Grant, which is the EMPG. Also, the Homeland Security Grant Program, the HSGP. The Nonprofit Security Grant Program, NSGP. And the State and Local Cybersecurity Grant Program, the SLCGP. The NTECC will also be briefed on the status of current and expected grants. Ms. Sloan, the floor is yours.
Jeff, Derek Franco for the record. I'll be briefing for case law. He is in Basic Academy, this week. In your meeting materials, you will find the grant status report, with all of the updated and current numbers of the grant that DEM is currently managing. As Brett mentioned earlier, there is still no status on the NOFOS for FY 25 EMPG or HSTP suite of grants, but DEM has opened application for those grants to front load and plan for the inevitable quick turnaround of when those NOFOS do drop. So please submit those applications, work with the grants team if you have any questions, so that when the NOFOS drop, we are as ready as possible. Pending any questions, that's the end of my report.
Thank you, sir. Are there any questions regarding the grants from the members? Okay, hearing none. Thank you, sir. That will close out agenda item number 10. And we will, I think before we do agenda item number 11, the public comment, let's go back to agenda item number 8. I think I saw someone log in. Was that Ms. Montooth or a representative from her? No, maybe not. Okay, so we will table agenda item number 8 until the next meeting next quarter. And we'll move on to agenda item number 11. This is the second period for public comment. This is for discussion only. No action may be taken upon a matter raised under this item of the agenda until the matter has been specifically included on the agenda as an item upon which action may be taken. Public comments may be limited to 3 minutes per person at the discretion of the co-chair. Comments will not be restricted based on viewpoints. And Ms. Laddick, I think I don't have to read the other 2 paragraphs, correct? Because I've already read it once.
Yes, you do not have to.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so while we wait for the lag time to catch up, are there any public comments in Carson City?
Comments in Carson City?
Thank you. Are there any comments from anyone who called in? Hearing none, are there any public comments from the members? Okay, hearing none. With that, we will close out agenda item number 11 and go to agenda item number 12. This is for adjournment. May I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Ross Rivera, I'll make that motion.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Dwayne Masters, former chairman, I'll second that.
Thank you, sir. Okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 All right, so motion passes obviously, and thank you, everyone. We are adjourned at 10:39. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you